Hello, guys, and welcome to Zanu Project ZPR. We are the rethinkers, and you are a rethinker also. And my name is Franck Zanu. I just quickly want to do this short thing because the topic is so hot, and there are so many angles coming about this story. Everybody is cooking up his own conspiracy here and there, and it's not helping anybody. And so I decided to do something about it because I got a call from a mayor of a town in South Africa, which is now called the New Orania Project. And he explained a lot of things to me. I have a couple of people in South Africa that I know. These are not just taxi drivers or scholars. I was in South Africa in 2022 for a short visit to speak. And I met some very prominent, both black and white scholars who gave me a better, deeper insight into what is going on in South Africa. All right? So I'm not here with any of the rumor mongering and the conspiracy and what is true and what is not true, just to give you a different side. So the person who came up with the idea, be careful what you wish for. That person must be a genius. I think he's a man or a woman endowed with wisdom. He or she may have seen a lot of things when he came up with the saying, be careful what you wish for. And I'm going to speak about two sides of that, what you wish for. The other one is the visit of Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, to the White House. He actually picked up the phone, and Trump joked to say, I don't know how he got my phone number. He picked up the phone, called Donald Trump and said, hey, listen, I would like to visit you in person, and then we discuss what is going on in South Africa. Because a lot of talks were coming out of South Africa. White farmers, some of them, were living in fear of the rhetorics that was going on. You all know the famous 100,000 people in a stadium where Julius Malema was chanting an old Zulu chant, kill the Boer. Boer means Dutch heritage people who are called Afrikaans. Kill the Boer, kill the farmer, pa, 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 pa. And everybody was chanting with them. Now, if you live in that country as a Boer, an African, and you are hearing this chant building up, you must be a different type of soul to say, oh, I don't care, nothing is going to happen. Because it has happened in history so many times. Some people see the writing on the wall, some it takes them a while before they see it. A few people saw it. Maybe they don't have too much of links. They can get up, pack their bags, and say, you know what? I'm not going to wait to find out. Let me leave. So the majority who may have bigger farms and corporations and huge families who cannot just get up and leave, okay, maybe they have enough security to give them an assurance that nothing is going to happen to them. Next door neighbor is Zimbabwe. When Zimbabwe got independence, there were, according to what I found on Google, almost close to about maybe 400 or maybe more commercial farms owned by white people in Zimbabwe. Generated employment, and Zimbabwe was the hope and the promise of Africa. When they went to London or the UK, immigration officers helped them with their bags to their car just because they are from Zimbabwe. That was immediately after independence, when the white settlers who colonized the country built that place into almost an European standard country. Commercial farm was the biggest export in Zimbabwe. People have jobs. You will never find a Zimbabwean cleaning gutters in Europe or in any African country. But you will find many Africans in Zimbabwe doing menial jobs. That's how good the country was. Robert Mugabe, the first president after independence, then decided, I'm going to take these commercial farms from the white people. Maybe if I give it to my people, suddenly my people will come up to the middle class. Mistake. He ran the country down to the south completely. Some white people ran away from Zimbabwe. Some went to Kenya. Some went to the UK. Some went to many other places, including South Africa. So we have seen it happen in our own lifetime. Luckily, in Zimbabwe, they are not as very, very violent like the Julius Malema followers who would actually kill. So I don't believe that white people feared for their physical life, but their livelihood that they built for 5 generations was taken away from them in Zimbabwe, Harare, Zimbabwe. May I continue? 1977, Idi Amin took power by force as a military man. What did he do? You must all remember, the British, when they colonized Uganda, brought many Indians from India to build railway lines in Uganda. And they happen to become what? Fifth generation Indian Ugandans. They don't even speak their language properly. They don't even know the way back to their home in India. Uganda was their country. They control the hardware, spare parts, pharmacy, laundromats, hotels. Indians, they work hard. They know how to do those things. Idi Amin became jealous. He said, no, maybe the more the Indians got rich, that's why my people are poor. Few, handful of Indians, their economy is responsible for the poverty of the entire country. He gave them 48 hours to leave. 5 generations in Uganda. He didn't care where they go. He said, leave my country. And one by one, he gave the businesses owned by the Indians to the Ugandans. It took less than 10 years. They run it all down to the south. Uganda's economy flopped and has never recovered. The same thing happened in Ghana. Under Dr. Buzia in 1969 chased away all West Africans, especially Nigerians who were living in Ghana. They left their farms, their stores, mechanic shops, oh gosh, everything behind. Ghana never woke up again. It never did. Then comes Rawlings, J.J. Rawlings in 1979, kicked out all the Lebanese who owned all the hardware and building material shops in Ghana. The country went so down. Ghanaians starved for years in 1984. So we've seen it happen. Sometimes when you see the writing on the wall, you better pack your bags and leave. And slowly, it's boiling and boiling and boiling. And if Julius Malema ever can control 10,000 people and unleash them on these white people, it will be a bloodshed. It is so bad, as I speak to you, Mr. Voost has built now what is called the Orania Project in South Africa. He paid the ANC government money and bought acres of land thousands of miles away from Johannesburg. He said, enough is enough. I'm not going to wait for my children and my children's children and my neighborhood for a bloodshed. He saw the writing on the wall and began to build a community for himself and fellow Africans. You must be of a Dutch heritage, speak only Afrikaan, be a Calvinist, which is their religion, for you to qualify to live in the Orania Project community. Only 3,000 white people have built the Orania Project to the level of an European city in less than 22 years, guys. 3,000 of them. They bought the land. The Constitution of South Africa contains these clauses. Because South Africa is made up of more than 12 tribes and 7 major ones, anyone is free to carve a place for himself to protect his heritage, religion, language, and culture. It's in the Constitution. So Mr. Voost and the Oranian citizens are not doing anything at all criminal or wrong. But in the last 10 years, the media, the left wing, they've gone after this man. For what? Simply building a community of my own. It's like blaming a man who lives on a ranch in Texas and doesn't have anything to do with anybody. They don't rely on the government of South Africa. They build their own energy supplying company. They build their own fire stations. Their kids walk barefooted in Orania. They leave their doors open. Not a single crime against any young girl or young boy. They are preserving, one, their health, their security, their heritage, their language, and their religion. Nothing wrong with it. But they are calling them apartheid people right now. So this word apartheid is what led to what South Africa is going through right now. In 500 years, settlers, not colonizers, that is a difference about South Africa. The Dutch, or otherwise called the Boers, came there to settle in order to build rest stop for ships going to Indonesia and India. Long story short, it's been 500 years. Their only nationality is South Africa. Uniquely, the only country in Africa, if not the whole world, that has 2 distinct races, both being citizens. Beautiful thing. Beautiful if you ask me. I wish all other African countries, we could have that. And these people build that country, South Africa. Everybody else from West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, We go to South Africa the same way we struggle to come to the United States because you will get better job. Whatever you will do will flourish. You will never catch a South African black in any African country who is toiling the streets and cleaning gutters. No, because only 2.8 million white people build that country. Hospitals, schools, roads, railways, mining, you name it. People have jobs. The only mistake they made was to ask to make it into law apartheid. Apartheid simply means, in English, segregation. We are Dutch, Boers, Calvinists. We don't like mixing. So, you stay in your district. You were in your tribes. The Xhosas, the Zulus, the Limpopo, whoever you are, you were in your tribes before we arrived, and we took this little place here. What is the point now? You wanting to come and mix up with us? That's it. Apartheid simply means, you know what? You, the tribe people who have your tribe before we came here, remain where you are. We came to this bare land and we built it up. That declaration was what gave Mandela and the ANC something to do for 42 years. That a black man of almost 49 million blacks, stopped everything they were doing to rely on 2.8 million white people, that if I don't come to your beach, if I don't come to your schools, your clinic, your hospitals, then my life is not going to be okay. Seriously? Who is the majority in South Africa? Black. These blacks are of different, distinct tribes, for those of you who don't know. The Zulus were the ones who wanted to create a Zulu nation. They are the largest, most powerful. They are found in the KZN, what is called KwaZulu-Natal, okay? Then we have the Xhosas, the second largest, which is Mandela's tribe, and on and on and on and on. So the blacks who live in South Africa are not one monolithic group of black people who say, we all speak one language, we are all Zulus. No. They don't even get along. They don't get along. Blacks in Sudan don't get along. Blacks in Nigeria don't get along. It's getting so bad that Nnamdi Kanu is asking that the Igbo tribe should break away from Nigeria. Blacks in Cameroon are cutting each other's throat as I speak because they want to separate from each other. Blacks in Rwanda couldn't get along. They killed hundreds of thousands of people. And you are asking a distinct race of white people to allow you to mix up with them. So fast forward. The rhythm is getting bad and bad. There are photos. I don't know anything about it, if it's true or not. I'm only sharing what I've seen, just like you. There are photos. Video of Mandela chanting is plenty. Kill the white man, kill the white man. And then recently, the parliament wants to pass a bill that they will take land from the white people with no compensation. As if land is the reason South Africans are poor. Seriously. Show me one South African black who have seized minimum 200 acres of land and turned it into a commercial farm in South Africa way before the white men arrived. None. So these rumors has caused so much fever that when this bill was about to pass or passed, where this same president gave his own speech saying that, no, it's time we take our land from the people. Trump said, no, I'm going to pull all aid from South Africa because of this. I am not in support of one group of people suffering. You're going to take their land that they've owned for 500 years. So Ramaphosa made a good deal by saying, let me call Trump. Now, here's where I'm coming to. Be careful what you wish for. The Americans have been screaming they want to see transparency. Since Trump got into office, I've seen something many presidents have never done, including the last administration before this one. Anybody who came to visit the White House, it's tradition, even from the UK, France, the two presidents will meet behind doors, discuss, agree to disagree, then come outside and face the press after they've taken 20 minutes to polish how they are going to say it and then say it to the press. Trump decided not to do it that way because the American people said they are asking for transparency. Since he got into office, he doesn't care who. Any leader, including Zelensky, when you come to meet with him, he opens the door wide for all the media to be there, watching. And he says and acts how he's going to do it right there on camera as part of what you want and you call transparency. So, It went with Zelensky. It went with the Italian PM. It went with the German visitor and the UK. And now Ramaphosa comes. And what Trump did had nothing to do with how he wants to prove that you are killing people or you are going to kill people. No, it has nothing to do with it. When he said, turn down the light and play me the video, that has nothing to do with him attempting to prove anything. But people are now hanging on to that. Trump is peddling lies. Trump said there is genocide. That is not what his attempt was. What Trump wanted to do was a chess game. I'm going to get this guy to promise on camera right here in the United States, in the White House, that there's no such thing happening in South Africa and will not happen in South Africa. Bingo. As soon as the lights were turned and the video was played, every face from South Africa delegation changed. Ramaphosa went on camera and said, Mr. President, I promise you, we have nothing to do with that guy, referring to Julius Malema. And I'm going to do everything possible when I get back to South Africa that no white man is going to be hurt. You see, he got him to make a promise on camera. What this means is that Ramaphosa, who knows that he needs the United States, because he himself said, we have only 22 companies that invest in the United States. The United States has 606 companies that invest in South Africa. He said it himself. I need the trade relationship to be reset. That's what he told Trump. Now when he goes home, he's going to make sure that no white man will be hurt. He's going to make sure anyone who begin this rhetoric of killing white people or let's do this to white people, that is not going to happen. Now let me ask you, if Ramaphosa is able to do that and the white people in South Africa begin to feel peace, wouldn't you say, even though the method he used was a chess and it's crude and it's like an ambush, but it yielded a good result? I want my fellow black and white people in South Africa to live in peace. That place is God awfully beautiful, full of potential. The South African blacks are creative music-wise. I love their music. And they could live in great peace along with the whites. What they did that was wrong, though, is the second thing I'm about to talk about. They made the worst deal ever made in history with the white people in 1994. 32 years ago, the whites turned over the entire country to the blacks. Completely. President, parliament, all loaded with black people. In 1994, South Africa was on the same standard, if you may, Norway. No lead shedding. Power was constant 365 days. Water supply, clinics, roads. The railway network in South Africa is mind-blowing. Since it got into the hands of blacks in 32 years, ladies and gentlemen, I went there in 2022 and I saw it for myself. The Durban train station, the largest you could see compared to Europe, is in complete disarray. Cracks in the walls, railway lines being stolen away and shipped to China. Now they have load shedding, water supply, broken roads, potholes, and worst of all, unemployment and crime. You see, the deal they should have made in 1994 was not to say, give us the country, give us the country. You knew damn well that these people built this region we call South Africa into what it is today. They could have made a better deal because you know, they know how to build it, they know how to maintain it, they know how to administer it so that South Africans can get jobs and live in peace, and their children will forever live. But you know, you were greedy enough to think the only thing you didn't do was what Idi Amin did. For Idi Amin, he kicked out everybody and took their things. For Mugabe, he knew if he take their farm, they will run away. In South Africa, you just took the whole country, everything, but you do not know how it is managed or maintained. But because before the white men came to settle in South Africa, no South African tribe has ever built a single infrastructure, let alone maintain one. It's a wrong deal you made in 1994. I say to you, Ramaphosa and all the politicians, it's not too late. Have a national festival day in South Africa. Invite the white people back and say, we tried it. The experiment has proven we can maintain this. Let's live side by side with each other And you guys go back, take over, and let our children create employment for our children for peace and prosperity. Thank you. We are the Rethinkers. Once again, this is my emotion for today. I see you. Subscribe, follow us. Thank you very much.